Right now on News 4 at 10, paying more at the pump. Gas prices continue to rise across the country after Hurricanes Harvey and Irma. What Senator Chuck Schumer is doing to fight against the rising costs.
And we're currently watching two hurricanes in the Atlantic. In the meantime, summer here in Western New York, at least summer-like weather, not going away anytime soon. We'll have your full forward forecast coming up.
And President Trump is getting prepared for his big meeting with the United Nations. News 4 at 10 starts right now.
Live in high definition, this is Western New York's news leader. Now, News 4 at 10.
We are following breaking news right now in Buffalo. Police are on the scene of what appears to be a double shooting on Camp Street. This is a look at the scene right now. This is a live picture. Our team is on the scene there. We are told that Camp Street is the block between Genesee and Sycamore, and you can see there where the area is roped off. Two men were injured in a drive-by shooting earlier. That's coming from police. We don't know their condition yet. Our photographer on the scene says it appears shots were fired at or inside a home there. You can see Buffalo police are wrapping up their investigation on the scene right now, removing that caution tape. Again, this is on Camp Street. We're told two men were injured in a drive-by shooting. This comes just 24 hours after Buffalo police responded to a triple shooting near Holden Street and Jewett Avenue. Police say the victims in that case are 23, 27, and 40 years old. Those men were shot around 9:30 last night. Police say they were all taken to ECMC and are expected to survive. If you have any information about either of these shootings, you should call the Buffalo Police's confidential tip line at 847-2255. We will continue to bring you the latest on these developing stories on air and on our website, WIVB.com. Turning now to a live look over the Queen City right now. It is a beautiful evening in downtown Buffalo. You can see there that City Hall is lit up orange and green for Welcoming Week. It's a way to symbolize the contributions refugees and immigrants make in our community. Right now, we are going to turn it over to former meteorologist Andrew Baglini, who is tracking the path of yet another hurricane. And here in Western New York, what looks like it's going to be a beautiful week.
It's going to be an absolutely spectacular week. Still feeling a lot like summer, though. So, Callan, if you're kind of ready for fall, if you're ready for pumpkin and apple picking, it's not really that kind of week. It's more like grab the sunscreen, head on outside, enjoy it. We're talking 80s and a lot of it, and we'll talk a lot more about that. But I want to start off with what's going on in the Atlantic. We do have two named hurricanes right now. Hurricane Jose that we've been talking about for quite some time, and Hurricane Maria that strengthened into a hurricane earlier this evening. Jose has actually been weakening a little bit this tonight, but still a Category 1 storm, and I do think it can re-strengthen and sort of reorganize a bit over the next 24 hours. The immediate impacts here are going to be along the Outer Banks, towards the Delmarva Peninsula, Jersey Shore the next couple of days with higher surf, rougher seas out there, something to keep in mind for those enjoying the weather along the beaches. And then main focus towards Wednesday and Thursday will be across, say, Long Island and southeastern New England, along the coast, the Capes, the islands. That's where we could see some tropical storm force winds, and eventually Jose sort of circles back around itself. In the meantime, Hurricane Maria, I think this is going to be, unfortunately, a big deal for the Caribbean. It's moving through very warm water and will likely become a major Category 3 hurricane this week. First up, though, tomorrow is going to be the Leeward Islands, areas that saw a lot of destruction from Hurricane Irma. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic also going to be seeing almost a direct shot, if not an entirely direct shot of this, getting into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Towards the middle of this week, we'll start to determine whether or not we'll see any U.S. impacts from this. Still a little bit too early to decide that. Here at home, it's been pretty quiet weather-wise this weekend. We do have a weak front, though, on the way that we're watching, and there it is to the west. Coming up in your full forward forecast, I'll let you know about a few showers heading our way. We'll time everything out and show you that full 7-day.
When the supply was cut off from 13 refineries, price should have gone up. But now that the refineries are on duty, the price should go down.
Gas prices are up across the country and here in Western New York after Hurricanes Harvey and Irma. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says it's unacceptable. He says prices should be coming down and fears some businesses could be taking advantage of you. News 4's Shannon Smith joins us in studio with when we can expect to see prices drop. Shannon?
Callan, gas prices are up in western New York. The average in the Buffalo area is $2.75. That's why U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer says something needs to be done to help prevent gas gouging, especially after natural disasters. AAA says Hurricane Harvey is hitting western New Yorkers harder at the pump than expected.
We were expecting them to go up about 15 cents to 20 cents.
Instead, prices shot up 30 cents in the month since the storm. This gas station in Cheektowaga is the cheapest the travel agency has seen in western New York, at $2.64 a gallon. But most drivers here are paying $2.75 at the pump.
There are a lot of refineries in Texas, so it did shut down a majority of the refining in Texas. It actually shut down a third to a quarter of the refinery for the entire country. So a lot of the gas for the entire country comes from Texas.
But U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer says the effects of Hurricanes Harvey and Irma shouldn't last this long.
Unfortunately, gasoline prices at times like this are often sticky. They go up very quickly, but they come down very slowly.
That's why he's asking the Federal Trade Commission to have a gouge watch with oil producers, transporters, and refiners to make sure prices go back down as fast as they go up after natural disasters. According to AAA, gas gouging is when prices jump by as much as $1 per gallon.
Here in New York State, we have not seen gas gouging yet. You know, this increase is a little bit more than we expected, of course, but we are on the higher side of the national prices. So like right now, the New York State average is $2.82. The national average is about 20 cents cheaper than that.
But Schumer says the increase is unacceptable, and he wants the FTC to keep a closer eye so drivers aren't paying for it at the pump.
But if they don't go back down in the next few weeks, something is fishy.
Schumer says gas prices need to drop in the next month. Now, AAA says that oil companies are switching from the summer blend of gas to the winter blend this week. So AAA hopes to see the prices come down this week. Live in the studio, Shannon Smith, News 4 at 10.
The homecoming for Bills head coach Sean McDermott did not go according to plan as the Bills lost an ugly game to the Panthers. The final score, 9-3. The Bills offense was non-existent. They did not score a single touchdown, but luckily their defense kept them in the game, finishing with 6 sacks on Panthers quarterback Cam Newton. Despite the sloppy showing, Buffalo had the chance to win on their final drive, but Tyrod Taylor overthrew rookie wide receiver Zay Jones. The team reacts to the loss. Coming up ahead in sports. World leaders are gathering in New York ahead of United Nations General Assembly. North Korea and its nuclear weapons program are once again high on the agenda. Meg Oliver has a preview of President Trump's first UN get-together.
President Trump headed to New York Sunday on the eve of the United Nations General Assembly. It will be the first UN session of Mr. Trump's presidency, one that's full of uncertainty. During last year's campaign, the president regularly denounced the United Nations. The White House says things have changed.
Now we can say it is a new day at the UN. What you are now seeing is the Israel bashing has become more balanced. You've got United Nations that's action-oriented. We've passed 2 resolutions on North Korea just in the last month.
The ongoing standoff with Kim Jong-un is the most pressing issue on the table this week. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson today said the U.S. wants a peaceful solution, but won't wait for it forever.
If our diplomatic efforts fail, though, our military option will be the only one left.
This is probably one of the most serious international crises, national security crises we've faced.
Senator John McCain of Arizona believes the U.S. has only 2 options for dealing with Pyongyang.
One, a nuclear-armed North Korea, or war with North Korea.
In a tweet on Sunday morning, President Trump referred to Kim as Rocket Man and said the UN sanctions are working.
We have pretty much exhausted all the things that we could do at the Security Council at this point.
Haley said the U.S. has plenty of military options, but will work with other nations to avoid having to use them. Meg Oliver, CBS News, New York.
Still ahead on News 4 at 10, Meatball Madness, how some of the Queen City's food favorites duked it out in a tasty competition.